Story this morning, the new Home Secretary could issue visa suspensions for countries that refuse to take back illegal migrants. Now, I wasn't even sure there were countries like this, but there are.
Yes, Shabana Mahmood has vowed to do whatever it takes to tackle the small boats crisis and said that she'll go further and faster than her predecessor, Yvette Cooper.
Now, the Home Secretary has firmly ruled out standing for the deputy leadership of Labour and insists that her top priority is securing British borders. So will Labour's no-nonsense stance on illegal migration work? Earlier, we spoke to the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. This is how he thinks the new Home Secretary will get on.
Shabana Mahmood is hard as nails, and whether it is tackling disorder and lawlessness on our streets or tackling the insecurity at our borders, you can expect a tough and effective approach from this Home Secretary.
Well, full confidence there from Wes Streeting. Joining us now is Deputy Editor of The Spectator, Freddy Gray. What do you make of it, Freddy?
Well, I thought it was interesting, Wes Streeting saying we've tried lots of things and they haven't worked. I mean, have they tried lots of things or have they announced lots of things? I think there's a difference. And again, we have another announcement. We have a new Home Secretary, another announcement about getting tough on immigration. And in fairness, you have to say to Shabana Mahmood, let's give you a chance. But we've just heard it so many times from this government and the last government that they're going to do something drastic that's going to change immigration. And it doesn't happen. So I'm full of doubts.
And big concern now about the situation in France and what that means for the one-in-one-out deal.
I think the one-in-one-out deal's probably sunk now with the French government. And it was sunk, really, when
That's not going to make any difference to anybody, is it?
It didn't really exist. No. It was like something in a forest falling over. And it was always it was such bad comms to begin with. When a policy is only being done because it's a good announcement, you'd like the announcement to be good, but it wasn't. Yeah. It was a disaster. And the other irony to this is given how bad Yvette Cooper was as Home Secretary, you'd think she'd be shunned out into the hinterlands of the Labour Party. But no, she's Foreign Secretary.
Yeah, still in the top 4 jobs.
So they just shuffle around from disaster to disaster. And that really is the story of British politics in the last 2 days.
But was she a disaster, and in what ways would she have been a disaster? What way are we judging the new Home Secretary against her?
Well, I'm probably being a little unfair. The Home Office is an extremely difficult job. Lots of people have struggled with it. The only person who could hold it for any significant amount of time was Theresa May. And some people think she was a real disaster because she was in the job for so long. So I
remember Theresa May and talking to her about riots in North London. And she was saying, and I was saying, are you going to use water cannon? And she said, we don't police that way in the United Kingdom. We don't use water cannon in the United Kingdom, Eamon, I'm afraid. I said, well, funny enough, I was standing in Belfast yesterday and there were 6 of them around me being used. I think she forgot that Northern Ireland was part of the UK at that particular stage.
Yes, well, quite. Yeah, that's very like her. Boris Johnson was very keen on water cannon. Do you remember that?
He's in trouble today. He's front page of The Guardian.
He's front page of The Guardian.
So apparently he's traded contacts that he had made whilst in the job for business deals as if
who knew that Boris Johnson was a little bit shady? I think it will probably slide off him, but it may affect his comeback chances. There are still people in the Tory party who dream of the day Boris is going to make a comeback.
Do you think he'd like to come back?
I think he would, but I think he's probably making too much money outside of politics for now. Yeah. And I mean, there are so many obstacles. Nadine Dorris going to reform.
Yeah, but you couldn't see Boris going to reform.
No, they wouldn't.
I don't think reform would happen.
Take him.
But Nadine Dorris would take him, and I think Nigel Farage has landed himself a bit of trouble with Nadine Dorris because she's going to be such a Boris fan.
Yes.
And she's going to keep mentioning
the Boris Trojan horse as the Reform Party. Yeah, It'll be very interesting to see.
Could we see a deal then with Nadine Dorries and Reform, potentially Boris coming back to the Tories? Could we see a deal, a merger between Reform and the Tories?
Not at the moment, because Reform just despise the Tory party so much, and the Conservatives, and all their voters hate
Well, they despise them so much, and then they're taking the likes of Nadine Dorries, taking Jake Berry.
They are, yeah. Well, they need the experience. They need experienced candidates. But I think they are trying to come up with their own candidates as much as possible because they don't want to just be the kind of the detritus of the Tory party, the offcuts. But I mean, I think it's impossible to see for now, but the realities of politics near a general election might mean something else happens.
Just here, there's a lot of comments about things you talked about earlier on, and basically, there's a number of people asking the question, Graham being one of them. Surely the best candidate for Labour leader, if he becomes an MP, is Andy Burnham. Now, I mean, I happen to agree with that.
King in the North.
Yeah, King in the North, can he become king of the whole UK? But the thing is, he has to find a seat.
It's interesting in watching him do the TV rounds this weekend, and he knows what's going on, and he is quietly machine gunning as many people in the Labour Party as he can. And yes, at some point they may well turn to him. But the Labour Party, as it is, I think Shabana Mahmood is a natural replacement.
Well, she's ruled herself out, hasn't she? She said she's going to focus. Yeah, as deputy, she said she's going to focus on the task in hand, which is controlling our borders.
Or possibly focus on the real task in hand, which is to take Keir Starmer's job.
Well, potentially, yes. Yeah. But in terms of runners and riders, who would you put in that list? I mean, many of the papers saying it has to be a northern woman.
I think Thornbury.
Do you?
Yeah, I think highly likely.
I'm interested in you saying that. I mean, I like Emily. She's a very straight talker. She's good to do. You can have an argument with her, you know. And, she take things well. She's robust, but where does she fit into the overall scheme?
Well, I'm not. Labour tribes are very hard to read, but I'm not. I think she is sort of OK with the tribe running the Labour Party at the moment, which is.
She's seen as quite metropolitan, though, isn't she, by a lot of the.
Yes, I think so. Although she's quite tough talking and robust, and that's what you need.
She's got experience, isn't she?
And also, what do you need in a deputy leader? It's really comms. Yes, they have important tasks to fill in when the Prime Minister's not there, but essentially it's not being a trouble story, which Angela Rayner became. And it's being able to present the message very convincingly on television and radio, which I think she can do.
She was trouble story, though, when she was sneering at the St George's flag.
St George's flag, not the time to be doing that.
No, certainly not now, no. Not now.
But she's one of these Labour people that always comes back because she's relentless.
OK. Freddie, really appreciate your take on things. Thank you very much indeed for your work this morning.